Strategic Foresight Summary: Navigating Future Shock. The core challenge of future shock, the relentless speed of change, has given rise to future shock, a psychobiological condition described as the disease of change itself. Point 1. This phenomenon is now the single greatest strategic challenge for modern organizations, causing disorientation that affects rational decision-making, consumer behavior, and employee stability. The condition is driven by the accelerative thrust, an overwhelming force generated by the convergence of technological and knowledge growth. Point 2. The three dynamics of the new societal landscape. The accelerative thrust defines the new societal landscape through three primary dynamics. Transience systematically shortens the shelf life of products, relationships, and assets. Novelty renders past experience and traditional expertise obsolete, and diversity fragments every market, customer base, and constituency into countless mini-markets. These forces collectively place an unprecedented strain on the adaptive capacities of individuals and institutions. The engine of technological acceleration. The primary driver of this speed-up is the technological engine, which operates through a self-reinforcing cycle of idea, application, and diffusion. Historically, the time between these stages was measured in decades. Today, the intervals have been radically compressed. Studies show the time between scientific discovery and practical application has been slashed by over 60%, indicating that new technologies not only reach the market faster, but also sweep through society with astonishing speed, constantly suggesting novel combinations. The fuel of knowledge growth. If technology is the engine, knowledge is its fuel. The acquisition of useful knowledge is accelerating at a dizzying pace. Global book production, for example, has moved from 1,000 titles per year before 1500 to nearly 1,000 titles per day by the mid-1960s. The number of scientific articles doubles roughly every 15 years. This accelerating body of knowledge, amplified by tools like the computer, enriches the technological engine and forces the entire system toward ever faster rates of change. The psychological impact, shortened situations. The external acceleration translates directly into an internal psychological pressure. An individual's life can be viewed as a channel through which a flow of situations, things, people, ideas, passes. The accelerative thrust radically shortens the duration of these situations, forcing a higher volume of experience through the channel and confronting people with more novelty to which their past experience does not apply, thus testing the limits of human adaptability. Point 3. The new landscape of transience in business. The resulting environment is one of transience, where impermanence is a foundational business reality. Point 4. This challenges corporate strategies built on stability. We see the rise of the throwaway society, defined by disposability and temporary products. Point 5. Furthermore, the physical environment is becoming transient with clip-on architecture and modularity. The explosive growth of rentalism in everything from cars to furniture reflects a deep societal need to travel light in a high-change world. Transience in people and organizations. Transience extends to relationships, fostering the concept of the modular man who engages in shorter duration, functional ties. Point 6. This contributes to high job turnover and a shift towards serial careers rather than lifelong professions. In organizations, rigid bureaucracy is breaking down, giving way to adhocracy, fluid, temporary task forces that are assembled to solve specific short-term problems and then disbanded, demanding a new type of employee who thrives in kinetic environments. The compounding challenge of novelty and diversity. The accelerating forces also inject unprecedented novelty and diversity, leading to a condition of overchoice. Advanced technology is driving demassification, replacing industrial-era standardization with mind-numbing diversity across goods, media, and lifestyles. This shift is turning the economy toward psychic gratification, where products are engineered to provide psychological benefits, and new experience industries, like curated sensory immersion, emerge whose sole output is pre-programmed experiences. The most profound novelty, the biotechnological frontier. The most staggering novelty comes from the life sciences, poised to redefine humanity itself. Advances like genetic engineering, cloning, and the pre-designed body, new birth technologies, artificial wombs, frozen embryos, and the development of transient organs and modular body parts will create fusions of man and machine, cyborgs. These developments introduce ethical and social choices that are radically new, challenging fundamental concepts of family, life, and personhood. Point 7. The human limits of adaptability. The popular notion of infinite human adaptability is a dangerous illusion, as man is a biosystem with finite limits. Constant exposure to rapid, novel change leads to future shock through both physiological and cognitive strain. Point 8. Physiologically, constant change triggers the body's stress response, orientation response, and adaptive reaction, placing an immense allostatic load that weakens defenses and leads to illness. Cognitively, it creates sensory and information overload, which degrades the ability to think and leads to decisional paralysis from the pressure of making faster, more complex, and novel choices. Identifying maladaptive responses to change. When adaptive limits are exceeded, individuals exhibit distinct maladaptive behaviors that leaders must recognize. These include the reversionist, who seeks refuge in an idealized past, the supersimplifier, who grasps for a single unitary explanation for all complexity, the specialist, who withdraws into a narrow, manageable niche, and the apathetic, who exhibits total surrender, losing the will to feel or cope. Understanding these symptoms is the critical diagnostic step. Strategic imperatives, managing change for a humane future. Future shock is preventable through the development of change regulators. Strategic imperatives include building personal stability zones and using rituals as sanity-preserving points of temporal reference. Education must be re-engineered for futureness, focusing on learning, unlearning, and relearning, as well as the skills for relating and choosing. The ultimate mandate is social futurism, which requires moving beyond technocracy, establishing social indicators for the quality of life, and implementing anticipatory democracy, a process of public engagement where stakeholders collaboratively design preferable futures, transforming them from victims of change into its masters.